Okay, I want to thank everyone for joining us for the Small Business Innovation event with Intown Concord. My name is Jamie Simchek, one of the founders of HRKNSScowork and an Intown Concord board member. We're also joined by Tim Manella, our community manager, and Don Trecconi, executive director of Intown Concord. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce HRKNSScowork and HRKNS Remote. HRKNSScowork is a collaborative co-working experience located at Capitol Commons in downtown Concord, New Hampshire, with a very local connection. Inspired by an incubator study commissioned by the City of Concord and Greater Concord Chamber of Commerce, HRKNSScowork gets its name from the philanthropist Edward Harkness, who is a graduate of St. Paul's School, class of 1893. His most transformational gift resulted in challenging Phillips Exeter Academy to revolutionize its educational experience. The heart of this revolutionary experience was based on the creation of a collaborative learning table in his name, which encouraged those around the table to learn from each other and grow together. We have taken this philosophy to our heart and embedded this in the co-working experience, whether it be literal as our table and seats logo and our meeting room tables, or in more subtle ways through our programming. Hold on. Forgive me. We're excited that you've all joined us for HRKNS Remote, our virtual speaker series. We see this series taking place weekly on Mondays at noon via Zoom. We got a solid line of speakers engaged to present on relevant topics and to engage the audience and answer questions in doing so. We hope the series can be a resource to entrepreneurs and those entrepreneurially inclined by focusing on positivity and examining how we can stay healthy and productive during this time of disruption and uncertainty today. And now I'd like to introduce our great panel. We have Christopher Cote. He's the assistant manager of Live Juice. We have Chris Gilbert, general manager of the Concord Food Co-op. We have Michael Herrmann, owner of the Gibson Bookstore. And we have Suma Koo, owner of Hilltop Consignment Store, Viking House, and Capital Craftsman and Romance Jewelers. And last but not least, we have Ross, I'm going to butcher your last name. I apologize. I should have asked. Ross Mingarelli, owner of Candle Tree. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up to Don Trecconi, executive director of Intown Concord, and we'll start with a few questions for our panelists.
So welcome everyone. I'm excited to be a part of this. And Haley, of course, is our event coordinator. She's up in the corner, or I don't know where she is on your screen, but that's where she is on mine. The reason today is we really wanted to see what everyone's been doing downtown. A few of our panelists have been doing some really fun, innovative things. And we wanted to share with you and really open up this dialogue. You know, the stores are opening this week. Next week, it's going to be the restaurants. So we really want to gather together and show that our downtown community, not just Main Street, but all the side streets and everywhere in between, we're a fun community. It's vibrant, and it's time to bring back the people to downtown. So we're going to ask a couple questions. If you have a specific question, please use your chat screen. You can ask the question there, or you can raise your hand, and then we could, just have this general dialogue. We want to, I feel that if you reserve the question till the end, you kind of get lost in the moment. So we may get to talk, we may get to ask all the questions, I may get to ask all the questions. We may only have one big question, but I want to have this dialogue. I want it to be fun, like I said, and maybe it'll spark some ideas creatively for you as well. Whether it's for the newspapers or radio or even the downtown businesses. So I'm going to start. Let me see where we are. Michael, there we go, because you're right in the middle of my screen. Yay! Really, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing these past, I want to say it's been longer than a few weeks now. It's going on, 2 months? Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing to generate the sales in your store and to keep up the interest.
Well, it's been tough. It's been quite, it's been a series of different transitions and just trying to figure things out on the fly. The first step was really to really grasp the idea that this was real and something we had to respond to, and that we really had to close our doors, which went against everything that I've ever felt as a retailer for 25 years, but it was the responsible thing to do. So it's been, it's almost 2 months now since we've let customers in, which is still weird, but it's the new normal. We fortunately we're a bookstore, and our books, we've always had a website that was shoppable, thank goodness. So people have been giving us orders. We're running about 55 to 60% of normal in terms of revenues for the last like 6-7 weeks. And, it's okay that way. We've had some cooperation from our landlord. We've had cooperation from vendors to make this possible. And we did receive the PPP funds and the disaster assistance loan, both from the SBA. So for the next 4 weeks, at least, we can continue like this. We're starting to plan what it's going to look like after the PPP forgiveness 8-week window. But, our books are shoppable. We're using social media a lot to let people know what our non-book stuff is and to just guide people through like different display ideas. Our in-store displays have translated into things on our website and on social media. And we're just cooking that way. We are not reopening right away, even though, we're technically allowed to in a limited way now, because, well, the science hasn't changed. The science behind this hasn't changed. And so we're going to reopen by degrees. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to start a shop by appointment program. And that's going to be active on our website starting next week, where people can make appointments to come in and shop. And so we're really going to limit the exposure both for the public and for our booksellers so that we can reopen by degrees and responsibly and not try to rush into anything because, we're going to be reacting to circumstance over the next few months to a year. If there's a sudden outbreak in New Hampshire, we want to be able to scale it back and close up by degrees the same way we open by degrees. So we're trying to be responsible with it.
Okay. Chris Gilbert, what have you been doing?
Well, we haven't really, I don't want to say we haven't changed, but we haven't closed other than Easter Day since this all started. We've had to do two things, look at our whole business model, which a large chunk of it was, hot foods and buffet and salad bar. So we had to transition from that into pre-packed meals and what are people looking for. The biggest thing we've done is that curbside pickup. We tried online shopping about 2 years ago, and honestly, it was a failure. And we stopped doing it. Nobody wanted. Little did I know, a year and a half later, it'd be what everybody wants. But we started it out small, slowly, kind of looked at what everyone's interested in, what they're looking for, and kind of just tweaked it from there. And it's at the point now, it's taken up between 16 and 20% of our daily sales with the curbside pickup, which is fantastic. And since we've really fully rolled it out 100% to anybody, our sales versus last year right now are only down about 4%. So, and considering, kitchen sales or the hot bar sales was close to 20% of our sales, that's we made a large leap ahead. So, which is nice. And it's something, we're looking now into for the long term. I don't think that's going to totally change. There's still going to be a lot of people that are worried about coming into retail that are going to still want to just, order online and stop, pick it up without having to have that human interaction. Eventually we'll probably turn it into a whole online thing, because right now we just made a web form, something to get out there, because it's to go into a full online business costs a lot of money, up front, and then just what the monthly fees are. So we want to make sure that people are, using it before we transition into something like that. Plus, everyone's in the same boat right now, and I don't feel going out and charging anybody extra money for an online service is the right thing to do. So that's been two of the biggest things that we've really had to concentrate on lately. So that, and what sells the most, now it's meat selling out. Last week it was eggs and toilet paper. So it's just trying to see what the new trend is for the week that's going to sell out and try to stay ahead of that. So It's been interesting.
It was a funny story, you know, we went through Easter and we were on Lent, and we gave up meat, at least my family, we gave up meat all the way through. We were fasting for 67 days. And then we come back and we're so excited we get to have meat, and now there's a meat shortage. So I've been, you know, getting that meat alternative again, just so we can have some meat-ish foods. Chris Cote, what have you been doing over these last couple of months? Unmute you. There we go. There we go.
Hey, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you just hear me? You work with one of my really good friends, Larissa.
Yep, and bakery.
Yeah, I've been friends with her for like 20 years. She's a really nice lady.
She really
Lovely.
is.
What have you been doing differently?
We haven't really been doing much differently, except for the fact, like right now, we usually have like 19 people working. We have 6. We're just trying to take care of our labor costs and make sure that like we have the appropriate amount of people working there, and that we're doing enough sales to make sure that we can take care of the restaurant, so that when this is all over, like we're fine. We've been running like 30% labor, which is really great. You know, it's one of the things we've been doing the last few weeks. So originally, about a year ago, I got adopted to having the responsibility to do social media. And we originally had a company that was doing it for us. Basically, we're just like putting on like standard pictures and videos. And then I contacted my boss. I'm like, we need to do something different. We need to do something different that we can be personable and take care of our restaurant. And I finally took it over. And since we've took it over, we've had like 2,000 people start following us in like a year. And it's been really great, because like you need to have that personability, that innovation, like to give the people that everybody on this panel right now is sitting in here for. We all have the same guests. So to be able to share that with all of you guys is really great. So like that's what we're trying to do, is like just, yeah.
I think a lot of it is have some fun as well. You know, you're trying to increase the traffic. Facebook post allows people to, you know, see what's going on and develop that relationship, because they may have the same views that you do. And
Well,
they
so
want to your store.
We originally started out when I found out that I was taking over Facebook finally, and I was getting paid for it, which is great. And it was kind of impersonal. And it wasn't really like, not much. And then I finally got to take over the Facebook page. And then the last few weeks, the last like 6 weeks, I really just wanted to not have it just be about Live Juice. I really want to walk around and check out other businesses and be like, hey, this is what they're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what they're doing. You know, like, and I probably like 30 businesses. I felt really good about doing it. It's not just about one place. This city is very, very, very important.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
I definitely agree. All right, so where is my Ross? There we go. We had some fun on Friday. Haley and I walked with Ross. If you didn't know, he was the minion. He was incognito as Ross the Minion. And we walked the street and we jumped into some of the stores and just had some fun. Who is that? I can't see.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. What are you doing?
I couldn't get on any other way, so I'm bugging Russ.
Yeah, she had
Perfect.
trouble.
See me?
She had trouble
Hi,
logging
Sue.
on. So she came in here.
I'm old. I'm old.
So Ross, tell us a little bit about some of the fun things that you've been doing over the last couple of weeks.
Well, I'm trying to get people distracted from all the negativity. It's very stressful, and it's not just about how am I going to sell candles. It's about my job to put smiles on people's faces and kind of leave
Yes.
out the candle business sometimes. So I started a dance video contest to win candles. So I'm trying to motivate people to make like a dance video. You send it into my messenger, and if you win, you get candles. So I was giving away free candles so people can have some fun, make videos, and it became a really good turnout. So I actually made my own video to help advertise for it, and it was like at 8:30 at night. I was here. I had black lights. I had neon hat, glasses, suspenders, everything. Because
Those glasses were great.
I know, I'm going to keep them.
I know.
I had to find a way to motivate people. So I'm going to embarrass myself with the songs. It has so much fun. So a lot of people, after watching me, they got motivated. They got less nervous. We're going to do it. And I had like 6 or 7 more videos.
Yep.
It was so cool to do that. And also,
That's awesome.
I also did a music video festival because I noticed a lot of singers were doing their own online songs. I'm like, how can I do that? I'm not a singer. I can't play guitar, but I know people. So I contacted some of my friends. And anyway, we got a whole bunch of musicians that wanted to donate a song or two. I went to their house outside. I set up my tripod, and I taped them with a song or two. Then later that night, I posted everything, all the songs. And it was a really good turnout. I got to meet a lot of new people. And it was really, really nice connection to connect with other musicians that I never knew before. And so I plan on doing that again in the future. And my latest idea was walking downtown in a Minion suit. Just to put people, put smiles on people's faces and just to distract them.
Mm-hmm.
And I contacted Dawn from Intown Concord. I'm like, how can I take this idea and make it better? So she came up with the idea about downtown dollars and coupons from other businesses. And we just walked downtown, went into all the stores that are open and kind of put a smile on their face. I was dancing, and it was a lot of fun. I also, before I forget, I play music out front of my store 24/7. So when you walk by, 24/7. I just turn on my radio, and when you walk by, you'll hear some music, and it just helps to distract you from, once again, the negativity and the stressful of this virus that's going on. I'm trying to the COVID. I'm just trying to distract people. So, I'm trying to get like a good common music, like Oldies 99, or people that music that everybody would like.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do my best to make people smile. And that's with that for fun. And then also I started a delivery service. And that's helped out a lot because, nobody's allowed to come in the store right now or before. So I'm trying to figure out how to adjust to that. So I started a delivery service. What'd you say? Except for Sue. Yeah, that's right. But I also, I have deals going on right now too, since a lot of people are struggling with money. And I was scared myself too. So I'm like, what can I do to make sure I have money coming in to pay the bills and all that kind of stuff? So I'm running a 4 for 40 deal right now, and I've done that in the past, and I know it works, and it's been working. So plus that, plus the delivery, I have a website people can order from. So I just made a few adjustments and hope for the best, and it hasn't slowed down at all. It's been great actually. So I'm really happy I started a delivery service and made some.
Can you send me that 4 for 40 so I can share it?
Yeah, it's on one of my posts I did,
Right,
so I can send it to you.
Okay.
But yeah, I just try to figure out what kind of deals I can have during this time to ensure people are going to still buy candles, especially if they're stuck in their house. I can deliver to them, and it's been working ever since. So I'm very happy, very lucky, very blessed that it's working out. My shop is very small, so overhead is very little. It's just me, so I don't have to worry about any employees, things like that. So for me, it might be a little bit easier than some other businesses, but it's still a struggle. As a small business, I don't have that many funds. The customer base could be a little bit lower than some other businesses, but I have some really loyal customers that love their candles, and it's been great. So that's what I've been doing.
Very cool. Very good.
Yay.
Miss Sue, you have 3 stores, so you're times 3 trying to come up with
Hi, Sue Magoo.
some some of the things that you've been doing over the past several weeks.
Well, that everybody else hasn't done. What we tried was, because we were all closed, at Hilltop, we had items in the window, and normally we don't show price tags, but this time I actually made up a list with a description of what it was and what the cost was. And so that, and how to contact us. And that was something I had never tried before. And with some items, it actually worked quite good. And I ended up getting calls from people. Sometimes it was mostly furniture, so obviously they weren't coming to pick it up. But that was totally different. Anything that we had not done before. Obviously, we did social media and stuff like that. Some things work, some didn't. We're all learning what we're doing. I do not have a dance party, but that's right up my alley. So I started to thought of it first.
Give her a week or two. She'll have one.
I have a costume for you.
Oh, I'm all over it.
Yeah, nice.
I hope so. I
We'll
hope
have
so.
an Intown board member dance party down the street.
Right. I have a poodle skirt.
There we go. So, and Viking House, you've been doing a lot of Facebook posts and doing different snapshots of your inventory. So I think that's a great idea because people can kind of zoom in and check and either.
Yeah.
Emily's been doing a lot of Facebook videos, and the Scandinavians are all over that.
Yeah, yeah. And what about the jeweler? What are you doing? Anything special there?
Cheryl's been good about everything, but she has a lot of people that call her directly.
Okay.
So she had a lot of people that were able to, they just called and said, this is what we need. Can you deliver it? Can we do curbside? And we've I'm sure all of us downtown have always done curbside, like somebody couldn't find a parking space, or they were older, or they couldn't get out of their car for some reason. And we've all done that, but now it's become a more normal thing instead of like, they'll call and say, hey, I'm in front of Warren Street or whatever. I know all of us in town have done that.
Yeah.
It's just now we actually have a term for it.
Right.
So let me ask the panel as a whole, do you see, I know Michael is very heavy website wise. Are you, except for the restaurant, except for Live Juice and any of the other restaurants, it's kind of hard. Well, no, you can still do website. Do you see the trend moving that way and you don't think that they're going to be coming into the stores? We want people to come downtown, and of course Intown will be doing several different events over the next several months, and we're actually doing some planning. Do you think that's going to become another revenue stream, a heavier revenue stream for you?
Let me answer that first, I guess.
I'll wait till the end to answer that for me personally.
Okay. We don't believe that people are going to be jumping at the bit to come down and be in public spaces anytime soon. Not till there's effective treatments or a vaccine. Even if people do venture out, I think they're going to be very cautious about it, and I think it's going to contribute to a lot of public anxiety. So the business model is going to change. A lot of it is going to go online for us, for bookstores. And we, some of the things that were true about our business model before just won't be true in the same way in the future. For instance, large events, public events with speakers and book signings probably just won't be able to happen for some time to come. you know, you can't imagine like, you know, having a sale event and having 200 people in the store all shopping for discounts. That sort of thing is just not going to happen until there's effective treatments or a vaccine. So a lot of things about our business model have changed and will probably stay this way in an altered state for at least a year, I would imagine.
Do you think that you would have like kind of like what we're doing now, a books? I can't really do a book signing, but maybe read or bring in some of the authors to do something like that?
We're doing virtual events. We're doing a lot of those.
Okay.
We had an event with 2 cookbook authors last week, and there were like 100 people on the call, and we sold like 30 books, which
Oh, I
would have been
missed
a
it. Okay.
respectable. We'll have more.
Okay.
But, you know, yeah, I mean, so things are just going online. You just have to sort of adjust to the new reality. We're just talking now about taking some of our table displays and themed displays and just making sure they're represented on the website. We want the website to be sort of, to replicate the experience of entering the physical store.
Okay.
Transparency.
Anybody else on the panel for that? Chris? Either Chris?
I agree. I think curbside pickup, meals to go, home cooking is all something that is going to be around for, you know, at least a year, if not longer. I mean, I don't see it, like Michael was saying, coming back anytime soon until there is a vaccine. Plus, I think we're at the point now that it's, you know, if it was a 2-week thing, you know, and we close and we reopen, it'd be one thing, but people are getting into the habit that, hey, I can make these meals at home. I can actually do it.
Right.
You know, what I can order online. I think it's going to become more of a norm than it ever used to be. And, you know, for Main Street stores like all of us, I think it's going to require a bigger push to get people back down into here.
What have you found to be your, I guess, there's so many different thoughts running through my head, but at all the stores that I've seen downtown, they're posting online, at least on Facebook and on Instagram, you know, some of the actions and precautions that they're taking, and we're following the state guidelines, you know, with the social distancing and 50% occupancy, you know, going in and out of the stores. The restaurants, you know, we're working right now. We've got some plans in place. We're doing some research to see if we can extend the outdoor dining for the restaurants on Main Street, and we'll have some news hopefully by the end of the week because the restaurants do open to outdoor dining on Monday. But what's your biggest, I guess, your biggest takeaway, or one big takeaway from all of this? Maybe a big aha moment we can ask each of you. You know, what is that? What is the best advice you can give to the panel, the attendees that are on this webinar right now, that can say that what you've learned from this, that they can take away, that they can adapt maybe into their retail business, or you know, or give advice. You know, we've got a couple other, you know, we've got the chamber on here, and we've got the city and a few others. So what are those biggest takeaways for you?
Can I be the first one to throw in this?
Yeah.
What we're excited about is that we didn't have to lay off any employees during this whole entire time. And we do have a few that like kind of want to hang home. They don't want to come into work, but there's a lot of people that are like edging to like come back to work. And we, through this whole entire thing, are very excited that we're in an opportune situation to be able to take all of our staff back. I'm very excited about that. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, I think that's a big,
Like they all get their jobs back. I'm so
everybody
stoked.
can come back to work. Yep.
Yep.
And I think that's, to me, I want to go back to normal, but I don't know what that normal is anymore. Normal is not the way it was 6 months ago, or 5 months. It's different. You know, we've moved market days, we're adjusting, we're doing different events. So some of your other aha moments moving forward. What's the big takeaway for you?
And one of the things, you know, is just the staff that I have. They've been absolutely incredible. You know, it's being in a food business, we've stayed open the whole time. And, you know, we have a lot of people that could have said, I'm just not coming to work. I'm going to stay home, but they didn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
Yep.
they're working because they actually care about everybody who's here, you know, and we've been trying to take care of them in every which way we can, you know, whether it is giving them, you know, masks to wear or protection, you know, at the register, gloves, you know, we've given them, you know, wage increases to thank them for everything they're doing, because they have, you know, they become the front line for what customers see when they come in. And, you know, the customers are
Every
expecting that,
Every day. Yeah.
that safety net, so to speak, you know, even when they're shopping, you know, they'll come in and customers come in and say, oh, you know, you guys are working, you know, oh, but you're thinking of me by wearing that mask, you know, and that's become, you know, it's a big thing. It's just, to me, the big aha is how much the staff really, really, really cares about everybody.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's important to communicate you know, the importance of safety. When we open up for appointment only, we're going to require that customers wear masks. If they don't want to wear a mask,
Yeah.
they can just shop from home.
Yeah.
That's just going to be
Yep.
a strict requirement. I think one takeaway from this whole experience is the importance of shopping local. It really just underlines it more than ever, because we want, I mean, the goal has to be to have your team intact and your customer base
Yeah.
intact, and your shop intact at the end of this, which is like a year to a year and a half away. And so whatever you do now, it can't be focused on this week or next week. It really has to be focused with, you know, with your eye on
Long
the prize,
term. Yeah.
after the pandemic is over.
Yeah.
So we're trying as much as possible to retain all staff. One thing that companies should take advantage of if they can is the work share program that's offered by the state of New Hampshire. After the paycheck protection period, after those funds, or after that's over, you know, we may have to go back to that. We did have a plan in place for like 3 weeks before we got those funds from the SBA. So it enables you to reduce people's salaries, and they can have some additional compensation through the employment system for the state. So so we found that to be valuable. We may have to go back into that. But yeah, the idea is, you know, shop local, vote with your dollars, the kind of world you want to come back to when this is over. And, you know, and just make sure everybody stays healthy. That's the important thing.
Chris Gilbert, you know, we were just talking about the face masks, and the state has a program where they will give merchants free face masks. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, I went and picked up 1,100 masks on Friday. It's great. There's a website on the New Hampshire Gov page, and you just go in and it asks you how many customers you're going to have, how many employees you have working. You just plug it in, and you can go and they'll give you face masks. You know, and one thing that I found over the last month is, one, they're hard to get, and two, they're expensive. You know, the masks I got would have been about almost $2,000 if I were to go buy them out straight. And, you know, so yeah, you know, you can get them every 2 weeks. And
but you have to reorder every 2 weeks, right?
Yes, you can order. Yeah, they'll figure it out. And, you know, they say, hey, come get them at this time at the DMV, and you go and pick them up. They put them in your car or truck, and you're good to go. So
Perfect. The Workshare program, Michael, is on our website. If you click on the COVID resource page, and you'll scroll down, if anyone's interested in learning more about that, or you can just go on the unemployment page, the New Hampshire employment page. Information will be there, but we can definitely share that. Face masks, we'll put that up as well. I'll have that link. In fact, it was on our Facebook page last week, so it'll, you could scroll down there, but we can post that. One of the things I kind of, you know, I belong to different chat groups, and one of the things, one of the ideas was an online auction, and, you know, like we can do an auction with baskets, and that would be a way of generating some income to the downtown community, whether it be through the Downtown Dollars programs. I mean, you know, I'm really open. You know, we are, Intown Concord is about the local community, the downtown business district, and any ideas that you have, we want to hear about. And the same thing with Harkness. We want to know how we can help you get the word out. Besides being a public relations company, that's why we have other people on here. We want to help you. We want to bring we have to bring people downtown, whether it's online, whether it's on your website, whether it's your stores by appointment. We want to be able to do that. So I'm just kind of throwing that out to everyone. So if you have any ideas, please share them with us. And let's see, any more aha moments when we have Miss Sue or Ross? Yeah.
So for me, it was reminding me that I need to ask for help. Because most entrepreneurs are not good about asking for help, and if they do, then they don't listen.
Yeah.
So in my case, it reminded me that I had business friends that I haven't asked anything of for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And other friends and casual acquaintances. And, you know, you just sometimes need to talk, and sometimes you need to say, hey, I'm thinking of this. Tell me what's wrong with that idea. Or I have no idea. Give me some crazy ideas. And a lot of us over the years have really helped each other by coming up with an idea that really will help that business, or somebody that has helped me. Or it's one of those things. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
It's reciprocated.
I agree. I think it's important for us to talk and bounce back ideas. I mean, it's that mental health, mental health boost. Ross, any big aha moment?
Yeah, so I kind of want to encourage other businesses to possibly maybe play some more music. It sounds kind of funny, but I think right now is the time to think outside the box.
Station.
It could be the same station. Great idea. But running
it's a great idea.
I have an old stereo. It's nothing special. I did buy an outside speaker, but you can put one right next to your door on the inside. And I just feel that if you can liven up Main Street a little bit, you don't need to blast it. It's just when you walk by your door, they hear that song. You're going to encourage people to look where that music's coming from. They're going to look at your store. You're going to put people in a better mood. They're going to want to be in positive mood. That they might want to spend more money. Trying to help people change the whole atmosphere of negative to positive. And it's running a radio isn't very expensive. If I can do it, I'm pretty sure anybody else can do it. And I think if we all ran the same station, I encourage other businesses to try this. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I think the outcome is going to be awesome. I've had a lot of people walk by my store. They look, they thank me. So I think it's gonna help out a lot of businesses. So I suggest you get a stereo radio and just play a little bit of music. You'll be much happier. I know I am. I'm enjoying it myself.
I will double back on Ross's idea about music, because him and I are both very music-oriented people. I think it's just a really great thing for people to be a part of. And I think I'm going to incorporate this to Live Juice in the next couple days. For sure. Like, music is love. It's a big part of life. So, yeah, I might.
Awesome. Yeah, music just changes everybody's thought process. Everybody loves music. We find a common station. You walk by all Main Street and you hear music. And it's not going to be loud, just enough. And it's going to change people's thinking and outcome. And the outcome is going to be amazing, I think. We all kind of played music. So I think we should have another discussion, maybe another time, how to approach this. Pick a station on the same page. Mm-hmm. I play my music 24/7. When I'm here or not here, it's not blasting, but when you walk by, you can hear it. And it just takes your mind off of that, that COVID or any kind of negative, anything that's going on in your life. That. Right. And you just think about, that was a nice song. So just little things like that.
Well, we've been playing music here in the store and, Pandora stations. And let me just tell you, You wouldn't think it was possible to get tired of the Rolling Stones, but it is. And, we have
Yeah.
generational divides here. We have
I
younger
love the
people at war with
Stones.
the older people, It's interesting.
great.
But
Michael, I have no doubt at all.
I knew I'd get a rise out of Byron with that. We
One of the
can't all
things
be
we do-
hipsters, Byron.
we talk about music in the streets, and the downtown merchants for years provided music at Christmas time for the streets. And last year, we in town took it over, and we're going to bring it back again this year. And you're right, Ross. It's really
Yes.
puts everybody in the shopping mood, singing the songs, having a good time. There are a lot of local stations that, a lot of local stations that we can work with, and if everybody does a little bit and plays it for a little bit of time, maybe not everybody can play it 24/7, but hey, I'm open to ideas to bring the festivities downtown. Maybe
Let's bring it to the streets.
we can.
No, I died. I
Anything
died.
One
else,
thing I
Chris?
found useful-
Anything else? Chris Gilbert. Anybody? Go. I said Michael.
Hey, I have a point. Yeah, I have a point. One thing I found very valuable is find your tribe online. Like we have different groups of independent booksellers, and so
Oh, yeah.
I'm on a couple of weekly Zoom calls with stores from all around the country, like Tattered Cover and Books down in Florida, and just different bookstores that all contribute their own viewpoints and strategies, and you just find your tribe online and use this Zoom technology to actually help. It really does help also to be online with people that are all in the same boat as you, so you're not screwing up. It's the circumstances.
We're gonna get through it. I know. Jamie, any comments for you as far as what you're doing with the hotel?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So for the hotel, we've stayed open because we hope to welcome guests as soon as things change. But it's been interesting. I mean, we've been exploring, social media more. We did a hashtag Live Free Again campaign where we're trying to get people excited about getting back out again. But unfortunately, we've had to sort of look inward and see what our specific offerings are, because typically we offered, come dine downtown, come to an event downtown. And it's tough to sort of project, right, when we'll be able to do that again. So as much as we don't want to be inward thinking, right, we want people to come to Concord. We've had to take a step back and sort of think of, why would you come to the hotel? So for example, we're exploring touchless check-in and room entry and a few other things that will make it a little bit less high touch, even though that's what we tried to bring to the guest experience. So it's been very interesting. And I guess what I've noticed sort of just from the great things the panelists have said, it's intensely online as well as being personal experience, right? Because people are now calling you and talking through certain things, whereas before they might just come in and purchase something. But now you're either getting someone doing it, completely online, or calling and making that purchase by getting your input, which has been very interesting as well. Now, I guess, and Don, I don't know if you're open to this too, but are there any questions from participants for either the panelists or to kind of toss out some ideas that you guys have thinking about for your own businesses?
Absolutely. That was my next one. You're reading my mind. Anybody? Anyone? No? Jonathan, what's
I can jump in real quick if you want me
Yep.
to share what I'm doing. Am I on?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got involved in a couple things. Obviously with most of you, I know most of you on the call. So video production wise, as well as my financial business, but focusing specifically on the video production. I did a Zoom funeral the other day where we had two computers set up, and I and I helped, kind of facilitate via Zoom on the back end, so the correct speakers and all that. And then I filmed it so they'll have a more professional, really a kind of finished product that they can, kind of have as a keepsake. I've also really focused on college recruiting videos for high school athletes that aren't able to get in front of coaches right now, and really need that ability to get seen by the coaches, especially if you're a junior, and even if you're a sophomore. Really, the juniors that can't go through that standard recruiting process, now more than ever, they need video. So really kind of trying to find different ways to, what are some of the pain points and what are some of the needs and how can we fill it? And especially, from the video standpoint, instead of doing so much, I've obviously worked with several of you with, events and kind of boots on the ground. What are some of the things I can do where people pass me video digitally, or we use Zoom or something like that as a tool? So just continuing to try and think outside the box and provide video needs in a changing environment.
Well, Jonathan, it's interesting you said that because, we've been working on doing a Kickstarter video with Jonathan, and we've tried to seem relevant. So I think we're going to probably have you tack on a bit of a Zoom recording because, I think it was Chris Cote who said it, you got to be personable, you got to be relatable, and to welcome someone in a space and kind of be tone deaf, you got to be very careful about any marketing campaigns you had in the pipeline before this happened.
Andrea, what can you offer the businesses that are on here today?
Hi, so I'm from the New Hampshire Small Business Development Center, and we have prepared some very good webinars. They're no cost. They're on a few times a week. Specifically, we trying to help some, restaurants in operations and cash flow, with some training. And also the next wave that we are seeing is going to be forgiveness. And for those of you who have a PPP loan, it's going to be important to know how to apply for forgiveness and obtain it. So that's my recommendation, is that you check out our events page and see if there isn't a webinar that, that'll help you get to the next stage of whatever that is for you. And we always have our one-on-one advising as well. So we're, it's very specific, the one-on-one advising, because every business has its own special set of circumstances that require being, a little troubleshooting.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of businesses don't know that your services are free or complimentary.
They're no cost. So
No
someone's
cost.
paying for them, the taxpayer's paying for them, but we work closely with SBA, we work closely with our partners and funding sources and banks, and it's not just, so we have to get through these next few weeks, but afterwards, how are you going to pivot? How's your business going to pivot, or how are you going to make sure your customers know that you're COVID safe? I mean, and all the resources you talked about today, very important, knowing where to get PPE and, helping businesses connect to other resources, including co-working.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anybody else have any comments? Has anyone had any aha moments of your own that are not on the panel? No? No one? We're afraid to talk.
Well, I'll put Kelly on the spot. I mean, we took the opportunity because we have no one. Well, actually, that's a little strong. We have few people staying at the hotel, but we have some nights where no one's staying in the hotel, and we reached out to Kelly to redo all the photos of the rooms when no one was occupying them. So we've sort of seen that there are some opportunities, maybe not always revenue generating, at least on the hotel side, but some opportunities to improve our marketing efforts. So Kelly, I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, so I've kind of, I'm a photographer. I do commercial photography, mostly architectural, branding, food, product, and a little bit of automotive. So when all this happened, a lot of shoots got canceled, but I was fortunate to kind of pivot to doing things that we could socially distance or photographing vacant spaces for architecture. And then also doing a lot of pivoting to mail-in product photography. So people send me stuff to be photographed. So it's definitely been an interesting, because I like to work very collaboratively and with a group of people on my shoots. So it's interesting to kind of have to do this in a more individualized way and keeping distance, but it seemed to work, which is good.
Cool. Anybody else? I'm trying to look at some time. How about Ross? Anything from you?
I just know when I decide to open back up for customers to come here, my shop is 7x12, so I'm not going to allow anybody to come in quite yet. I'm going to probably build myself a nice little foldable counter, so you can still open up the door, but there's going to be a counter right there, and you can let me know what you're looking for. I can grab candles for you. But I'm going to probably not let anybody in here for a while and just focus on curbside pickup, local deliveries, online sales, and see how that goes. Because I do have a lot of people walking by. They open the door. I'm like, oh, can't come in quite yet. So I'm going to build that counter, I think. That's going to help out because I do have a lot of people that do want to come in. So I'm going to build that counter, and that should help out a lot too. So
They had old-fashioned doors in my days, they had the doors that, I'm old. They had a wooden door and it had a shelf on it, and then the upper door opened.
Yeah. So I'm going to do something like that. And whatever I build in my store is going to be small, and it's got to be able to hide too, because whatever I do, it doesn't take much time to fill up the store. So yeah, a nice little foldable countertop is probably going to be super helpful for me. Yeah, so just going with the flow and see what I can do to make it easier for customers. I do have people calling me all the time on my phone asking me, can I come pick up a candle? So yes, you can. Let's set up an appointment, and that's working out well. So because in front of my door, I do have a phone number, a website, so they can easily contact me also, and also through Facebook too.
Perfect. Sue, how about you?
Well, all three of us have opened today, but very much shorter hours. And I agree with Michael. It's going to be quieter. We were busy taping the floor and trying to do all that stuff, and I don't know how the tape is going to stay on the carpet, but on the hardwood it will stay for a while. Got signs up. We are not requiring masks, but the notice kind of makes it look like we are. I don't want to get shot, but at the same time, I'd really like them to wear a mask. So we are offering masks. So I think right now, all of us need to figure out how to be flexible, how to try and think about not only the short term. I mean, obviously you've got to get through and forgive yourself for the time and the energy the first 3 weeks when you didn't get anything done. It's okay to forgive yourself for that, because that time is gone. But at the same time, prepare for what's going to happen. As Michael said, it's going to be a year to 18 months before most of us have had a vaccine, and unless you already had the disease or get it, you're not going to be immune. So this isn't going away. So just be flexible. I think that's really, and think out of the box, and call your neighbors and ask them, I don't know what to do. Help.
Absolutely. Chris Gilbert, anything? Final comments?
No, I mean, just, local economy is the big thing that we need to all focus on. And, if there's a good thing that has come out of it, it's, the people that are shopping do say that we're shopping because we're here to support you. And that's what's really kept everybody going. So.
Yep. How about Chris? Cote, unmute you. Unmute yourself.
Oh, hear it.
There
Oh,
we go.
hi, I'm here. I think one of the things that like I really wanted to share with this webinar is that every person that's on this panel right now, we all have the same guests that shop at your place, at my place. We need to take care of them.
Mhm.
Everybody that comes in, like one day, they're like, "Oh, it's my one trip. Like I'm coming to Live Juice. Like thank you. Like," and they're coming to Hilltop, or they're coming to other places. We need to make sure that we take care of those people because they're the ones that are really like helping us out.
Mhm. You know, I think everybody promotes, I think we should continue to promote our gift cards for all the businesses. If you do have one, you know, let me know. There is a survey that went out last Friday just to find out more information of what you all are doing, maybe a little bit specific information. If you have not taken the opportunity to fill it out, go ahead. It'll take probably about 10 minutes or so, but it has some more detailed information than some of the other surveys that we put out over the last several weeks. I have to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every one of you. You make my job a lot of fun. We haven't seen it lately just because we've been so distanced, but I'm looking forward to getting back out there and visiting each and every one of you and getting to know you a little bit more about your shop, your business, whatever it may be. It's a new era, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this new life brings. But Jamie, any final words, comments, final closing comments?
Yeah, no,
Hi, thank you.
no, Don and Haley, thanks so much for we're partnering with us on this. I want to thank the panelists. This has been great. I've thought this is wonderful, and I would be remiss. I forgot to mention that Chris Gilbert, Michael Herrmann, and Sumagu are all Intown Concord board members, and so it's been great working with them. It's been great working with Don. And, if we can do other things like this to help share ideas, we're totally open to it. But thanks so much. And the only thing I would say is keep collaborating.
You got it. All right, everyone. Have a great Monday and a great week. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
See you later.